Good morning, everyone. I'm Rosie Chu, and welcome to Bay Area People. Now, this morning we'll give you information that you'll need to prevent heart attacks. February is Go Red Month, and that means that the American Heart Association is especially interested in educating women about heart disease. Now, women are at a higher risk of having heart disease than ever before, and it's time that we as women took action in becoming healthier. But before we get to that, I want to know if you're ready for the digital TV transition. Now, today we'll give you some answers on why the DTV transition has been postponed from February to June and how this will help millions of Americans prepare for this very important broadcasting event. So please stay tuned. We'll be back after this break. Well, just about everyone knows that television is transitioning from over-the-air analog signals to digital, and that you have to be prepared to receive a new digital signal by purchasing a converter box or subscribing to cable or satellite service. Now, the deadline was February 17th, but lawmakers and consumer advocates say that there are still millions of people out there who are not ready for this transition, have asked for and received a delay. And the new date for the DTV transition is now June 12th, 2009. Now, one of the many organizations that is making great efforts in helping at-risk communities is San Francisco's Self-Help for the Elderly. And joining me this morning is the president and CEO, Anni Chung. And Annie, I know you've been working really hard for a long time in making sure that everyone is able to transition to this new process. So let me ask you this at the beginning. I understood when we first started, we were just talking that upwards of 15% maybe of people were not ready for this transition.
Right.
But because of you and many others, we're down to maybe just a few million across the country that are not ready. At least,
I think, yeah.
Okay.
The figure has been floating around would be at least 6 to 7% are still not quite ready.
And who are these people who are not ready for this transition? Because I know that every TV station has been airing a lot of notices, a lot of public service announcements and news stories on this.
Rosie, I have to take this opportunity and really thank you and the other broadcasters for making the DTV transition a top priority. So you have made a lot of PSAs. I think that the awareness is out there among the general public. But when we talked about vulnerable population, we're meaning the elderly, the immigrants that don't speak English, the disabled people, and people who are recent immigrants that know nothing about this transition and do not know about the coupon program, nor do they know how to go out and get a converter box.
And I know that many stations, including our own here at Channel 2, we get a lot of calls from senior citizens and people who are just homebound.
Yes.
Who not only don't understand, but have no idea how to even begin the process.
Yeah, many of them might be actually already subscribing to some form of pay TV, either satellite or cable, and yet they are still wondering what they need to do. So first, a lot of questions to set them apart and kind of calm them down and said if they have cable or satellite, then they don't need to buy anything. Then there are those that really have no clues on where to get the converter box, whether the antenna still work with the digital signal. And after they receive the box or bought it, how do they install it?
Did you ever think that you would be such a television expert here?
No, I have to go do some quick study. It's actually, the connection isn't that complicated, but it's scanning using the remote, not being, say, able to speak English, and yet you're thrown with instruction booklets that are all in English.
Exactly.
That makes it very challenging.
Now, your organization is involved in one of 7 call centers around the country.
Yes.
So you have created a call center where people can actually come and get help.
Right. Since December 22nd, 2008, the Leadership Conference on Civil Rights Education Fund actually granted in the Bay Area 3 DTV assistance centers, and Self-Help for the Elderly is very fortunate to be one of them. So since we set it up on December 22nd, we've already helped over, I would say, a couple thousand consumers who either called in, walked in, and over our outreach visits, like we were on street fairs and we served 1,300 people over 2 days.
Wow.
They have lots and lots of questions on DTV.
Now, the people who are still not quite sure what to do, they have to be the truly disenfranchised communities. Now, I know that it's a lot of work, it's a lot of manpower, but you have people that are actually going into people's individual homes and helping them out.
We're very lucky with the grant and another grant that is just starting, like right now from the Department of Aging, San Francisco. We're able to hire and install technical personnel that we are sending to the homebound and the disabled and the very frail seniors home to look at what they have and get them all connected.
Now, there's been a lot of news about the fact that these coupons that the government has been getting out, they ran out of coupons.
Yes.
They ran out of money to support.
Right.
So what happens now?
As of December, anyone that applied to DTV, that website that the NTIA gave out, are automatically put on the waiting list. There's about 4 million people waiting for those coupons. I heard that as soon as the economic stimulus package passed, supposedly there's some $650 million set aside to expand this coupon program, so people on the waiting list could maybe get some coupons.
So this is February. The new date will be
June 12th.
Do you think people will be ready by June? What happens after June when there's still a handful of people who are not ready?
I think if we're smart, Rosie, we should prepare some emergency resources, whether they're boxes and actual personnel that answer the calls right after June 12th. Because I know that no matter what and how hard we work, there still be some very isolated consumers who still need some help. Absolutely. But we hope that the 7%, hopefully by then, will dwindle down to maybe 3%, and then the people that need help can maybe get it if we have some emergency resources. Right. We stand by to help those people too.
Well, thank goodness your organization's there and that we have the call center.
Yes.
What we're going to do is give out at least the phone numbers and websites to 2 of the call centers that we have here in the Bay Area.
Right.
Thank you very much, Annie, for sharing the information.
Thank you,
Hopefully
Rosie.
everybody will understand that this DTV transition is coming and that there is help out there for you to call. So that information is coming up in a minute, and it will be on our website also. Coming up next on Bay Area People, a personal story of surviving a heart attack. Stay with us. We'll be right back.